We are the harvesters. We are not the sowers in the season. We are the harvesters. There's a season to sow and there's a season to harvest. Okay? So we are gathering the harvest for our Father in heaven in this season. Our main duty is to show people what living under the rule of the sovereign Lord looks like and how joyful and peaceful it is. We are the ambassadors for kingdom living. Okay? That is what we are in this season. We're not sowing any seeds, right? There were those that sowed seeds in seasons prior, right? And now it's harvest time. It's time for us to say, look, this is what it is to live fully submitted to the Lord. This is what it is to let the Lord water that season that is in you, right? To submit fully under his hand. Okay, this is what it looks like when you submit it fully. This is the peace you can have. This is the joy you can have. This is the life that you can live. All right, so we are the harvesters. We are the ambassadors. We are the ones that are going to show what it is to live for God. So the Lord took me to the book of John chapter 4, where Jesus was at the well with the Samaritan woman. Initially, I went there to John chapter 4 and I read, and I remember thinking, okay, there is this woman, and after they have that conversation, she goes and calls others and she plants the seed. She plants the seed because she testifies, and she said to the men, I met, the Messiah. I met, a man who told me everything I ever did. And they come, and when they are face to face with Jesus, right, they say, we didn't believe because this woman told us. But now that we are here and we see and have spoken to you for ourselves, we can see that indeed, you are who she just said you are. You understand? So they came to Jesus, and that woman planted the seed. Jesus then, harvested the seed, or brought it to harvesting. Later on in the same chapter, Jesus tells his disciples that the person that sows the seed and the one that harvests the seed are not the same person, but they will both be rejoicing in heaven. This is the gospel of the kingdom, right? This is the gospel of the kingdom. Okay? So salvation is here, right? God is bringing about once again a great salvation. But then we need to know how to act and behave when we are living in his kingdom. Because there are rules, right? Kingdoms have rules. There's a certain way to live. There's a certain way to worship. There's a certain way to carry yourself, right? And we'll be showing the way that way to worship and carry yourself is beneficial. So before we get into the kingdom, we are already in the kingdom, but before others get into the kingdom, they need to understand that you don't carry yourself just anyhow, but we need to show them the benefits of living under that rule, that it comes with no oppression, just freedom, all right? So that they can look and want to be in God's kingdom with us. That is why your waiting was long, because there were things that had to be pruned out of you, right? You can't slip up. Once the Lord puts the spotlight on you and your marriage and your family and says this is how it is, there's no slipping up for you, all right? That is why God has emphasized relationship with him and relationship with the Holy Spirit, because he knows when that relationship is in place, he'll be able to drive you this way and that way. He'll be able to influence your behavior and your speech. All right? Everything that you do will basically be under his control. So when he releases you into the world to say, look, this one is mine, this is how my people live, he knows he's already pruned out the idolatry from your heart. He knows he's already done the work to get you ready to be his ambassador. So I hope this blesses you and that you take this back to the Lord and, you have a nice conversation about it.